Welcome to another episode of Design+Style, a podcast for designers, by designers, with co-host Dixie Willard of Dixie Willard Design and Rachel Moriarty of Rachel Moriarty Interiors. The Design+Style podcast is brought to you by the Design+Style Visibility Lab. The Visibility Lab is the only membership group that focuses on the latest strategies and tools to help you get more visible while showcasing your specific brilliance. We've got weekly online office hours with both of us, monthly topics, in-depth worksheets, and exclusive monthly trainings. Dayna Hoyos is the gal behind Stella House Films. She's a video genius who makes businesses shine by showcasing them in beautiful videos to target their ideal clients. Her photography for these clients, also stunning. If you need to put your best foot forward in business, it starts with a clean and professional visual presence, and that's what Dayna does for her clients.
We are so excited. We've got Miss Dayna Hoyos with us. Oh my gosh. Hi, Dayna.
Hi. I'm sorry. I may squee.
Sorry.
Are we
We're
live?
the podcast.
Oh, it started. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
We are so excited. Tell us, Dayna, a little bit about, we want people to know all about where are you from? First of all, tell your story, and everything you do is just amazing. I love following you and where you live and everything about you. I just love.
Okay. So if I go on too long, just do this. Just do the cutting the throat
Okay.
sign. Okay.
We'll do it.
I'm Dayna Hoyos of Stella House Films. I create beautiful branded video commercials, social media content for people to better target their desired audience, to put their best foot forward and gain the clients that they want through their external appearance being exactly what it needs to be for that person, for that client, in terms of video and photography. That was a really long way of saying I do video.
But it was a beautiful way of saying it.
I do video and take pictures.
I also do photography for my clients. So for instance, let's say we're doing a branding video and I look at their online presence on Instagram and Facebook, and they have nothing that is representative of who they are visually, like headshots or group shots or team shots. Or food shots or product shots, then I also offer to do those services for my clients. But it's not separate. I do it as a whole package. So they get everything that I do so that every part of them on social media is covered and is beautiful and is branded and looks the same.
So I feel like you up level your clients. Like you almost go in and you see them in a way that they don't see themselves. And you can come up with the visual body of work for them to share out.
Well, it's so interesting that you say that, because the clients that I have and friends and people in my inner circle, they're always sending me screenshots of terrible social media content of their competitors on Instagram and Facebook. All of them.
I bet.
Every day, all my friends send me stuff on text messaging like, did you see? I can't believe they posted this. Why would they post this? And so if I'm working with a company like that, I look at their online presence, their Instagram content, and we kind of try to figure out what are the main visuals that we want to continue to communicate and which ones we want to get rid of. Streamline their presence visually so that they can get who they want to come back to attract that person. For instance, like if they're a bridal boutique, a high-end bridal boutique, we don't want the low-end brides. So we're not going to be posting DIY centerpieces or, how to, get a cheap wedding cake. We're not posting stuff for people that are cutting corners. We're going to be posting stuff about how to hire the most exquisite wedding photographer, how to make your wedding movie star quality. So it's different things catered to different businesses. No two businesses are alike.
I love how layered you just went, because you're talking where you just went into website copy, really it's so layered. I think that's what people, it's not one thing. I think a lot of people think, oh, if I get the right pictures, it'll be that, or, you know, it really is using those keywords, you know, to evoke a feeling that made a whole different, like in my mind, I was picturing just glitz and glam and beautiful and luxury and, you know.
And I actually skipped a whole big chunk of what I do, because what I just talked about is stuff that I do on the tail end, kind of ancillary things that I do just because I like doing them for my clients. But the main things I do, because most businesses don't have a clean presence unless they have a whole team working for them that's working on their their web copy, their photography, their videos. Almost no business has all that. So the first thing that you want to do as a business is make sure that the images on your website are professional, number one. If you can't afford to hire someone to do professional headshots or professional photos of your products and services, then buy stock photography that looks good, because the worst thing you can possibly do is put bad pictures out there to the world representing your business. Put bad video representing your business, because there are statistics that I follow. I keep up with all these stats and figures about photo and video. If you post a bad photo or a bad video, 66% of people will have a negative impression of your business and decide not to get your product or service. So you're like, let's say you're a restaurant and you're posting, 7 bad photos every single day of your food. You're not attracting those people. You're turning off 66% of the people that you could be attracting by posting 3 good pictures a week. So
that's not even just, that you're not attracting them. You're actively detracting them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great for, our audience is designers, decorators, and stylists and stagers. So I think that's really important for them to take in and hear, because we put so much time, and could be years and weeks and months, and, so much time goes into our projects. And if you don't take that one step to get the professional photography done for those projects, even as little as, even if it's a small project, you may be doing more damage,
right,
than you think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's I am pretty gobsmacked about that, actually.
There are different grades of bad photography and video. I'm sure that 66% is about the very poor photography and video.
Right.
And there's other, grades of self-portraiture or iPhone photography that don't repel people so greatly.
Right.
But how do you know that? Like, you have to have someone else tell you this is good or this is bad. I did a Facebook Live the other day about using your own photography and video. And I said, why don't you poll 5 people, show them the picture and say, does this make you hungry? Does this plate of food make you hungry?
Right.
And if those 5 strangers say, ugh, then don't post it.
Yeah.
Someone posted this restaurant in San Antonio posted this food photograph of avocado toast that looked like vomit on the toast. And they posted it. And all these people were commenting like, oh, that looks so yummy. But there's like 5 people posting, that looks yummy. I'm going to get that. Can you imagine the hundreds of people? They're like, that looks like vomit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I would think too, that there are certain industries where the photo tells so much of the story that if you don't get it right, food, perfect example. Design is a perfect example, because if you can't show that the room looks good when you're done, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot.
I would take a bet if you hire a professional photographer that does real estate photography or design photography, and you take an amateur with an iPhone, right? And you both send them into the same badly designed room. Okay. So it's a horrible room. And the professional photographer, I bet you, could make that room look good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the iPhone amateur would go in and take it as is. because a professional is able to light things in a certain way, to see certain angles, to do things post-processing that an amateur has no idea how to do it. So like same with food photography. You give an amateur a plate of food and you give me a plate of food, I will make that look stunning, and you want like 10 servings of it. You give it to an iPhone photographer and maybe they can, maybe they can't make it look good. It's you know, it's a gamble.
Sorry,
that
I was going to
relates
say
so much to our industry, don't you think?
what we do. I mean, we're talking about a DIYer or interior designer, we call them, somebody that gets their, you know, they just go on Pinterest and try to do stuff from there. That's exactly what we try to tell our clients all the time. There's a difference between DIY, even if I'm using somebody's same stuff. Just me going in there and floating around and redoing tabletops and mantles, and there's something about the way I can place things and you know, undulation and rhythm and balance and all of that. So you definitely speaking to the choir on that one. We can definitely relate to exactly what you're saying.
I bet every industry has that example. You know, professional making it look amazing versus amateur not knowing what to do.
Yes. Because, you know, even perspectives. I see wonky perspectives, you know, when people just shoot a random iPhone and I'm like, oh, the lines are throwing me off in the back. And you know what I mean? And so just, you know, little things like that I don't even think, you know, people with their iPhones, that some people have a natural talent for it. I mean, that's, you know, I'm one of those people, by the way. No, I'm just kidding.
Your daughter is one of those
My
people.
daughter, I know. But that was 15 years of photo styling that, you know, that informed that. But so you're right. It's so important. It really is.
What's funny though is you get so many designers who understand that about design, but completely miss the mark when it comes to the photography, the graphic design, the website design. They don't understand the difference that just that extra tweak can make. We've been trying to say, hey, let's pull this back and think about it through your own perspective.
I love. And you know what I feel like though, Dayna, you can do, and it's one of our things that we teach in Visibility Warrior. It's step number 1. It's our first C out of 9 C's is clarity. And so I feel like really what you are doing when you meet with your clients is you are getting clear on, are they luxury or are they, you know, more focused on affordability? Who's their client? Who's this? And then everything that you do lines up with that. But they have to be clear first on who they want to attract, right?
That's exactly what a designer does too, right? They meet with their client, find out their style, which, and then the designer works with what the client wants, which is exactly what I do with my clients. Like, what is it that you want for your business? What do you want it to look like? Who do you want to attract? It's the same thing.
It's a lot. You'd be surprised how many people skip that step. We try to, you know, we work with people on just that one clarity step, and we say it sounds easy. You know, who do you want to work with? What do you want to? What's your message? But it really, like, people do not sit and take that time to figure that part out.
Well, I really think it takes another person. It takes another person from another industry or that is not associated with you to see your business with clear eyes. And I think that's why coaches are important, or you know, like in terms of spirituality, spiritual leaders are important, you know, finding out what the core of your issue is because you can't see it. The same with design. A designer comes in because they can't figure it out because they're consumed with their own possessions and their paintings and their rugs and their colors. It's a jumble and they don't know how to create clarity. And in terms of what I do with video, I come in and I can see it so clearly, and I am honest, I'm blunt, and I'm not afraid to hurt their feelings because they're not paying me not to give them honesty. They're paying me to create the best branded video for their business, photography for their business, and if I'm not honest, I'm not giving them 100%. So I think that works with designers too.
And anybody who's seen your videos or your photography knows immediately that what you say is, you're not just blowing smoke. When you say we need to do it like this because XYZ, the end result is always worth whatever mess they might have gone through before, because your work is just, there's a reason you're on our dream board. It's not just because you're sweet. That's a part of it, but
my ideal client is not someone that lets me walk all over them and do whatever I want. Right. My ideal client is someone who works with me 100% and I work with them 100%. And we listen to each other and we listen to our own needs. I listen to their needs. I give them feedback on their ideas. And I don't just use all of my ideas. I use their ideas too. And so that's the perfect balance where we can come together and create something unique and special and perfect for their business together. When it really falls apart, and sometimes I say no to clients, is when they don't have any sense of what they need to do, and like they're completely aimless, and they get advice from 100 different people and they take it instead of just listening to one person that has a better vision for their business and works with me. You know, if you're not working with me at all, I can't work with you. If you just want me to do everything, I can't do everything. I need to know what you want. And vice versa. I don't want to work with someone who won't listen to any of my ideas. So anyway,
it's all about the collaboration. And
yeah, we
see that with you all the time. I mean, you do collaborations with wedding venue people, caterers. You've done videos where you said, here are all the fabulous people that you need, live videos on Facebook. We're going to do this series, and each day we're going to talk to one of the other people in this industry who can help you have an even better wedding, because you also do weddings.
Yes. Well, I do about one wedding a month. I started out doing wedding photography, very quickly ended that and moved to wedding videography, which immediately led into commercial video for businesses. Because the very first wedding that I did, the business was like, hey, can you do a video for my business? I'm like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. I could do a video for your venue. And that ended up being so much more fulfilling in terms of creativity than the weddings. So now I do weddings like once a month because I still have that side of my business. But commercial videography is really probably 80% of what I do.
Wow.
Do you use drones?
I hire people.
You do? Okay.
If I need drone work, I hire people. Because my friends that have drones, usually they crash them once.
I was going to say, yeah.
And that's about $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 that you just crashed.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to take that risk. I'd rather hire someone for $200 an hour to do the drone I need than to, like, at the drop of a hat, lose $6,000.
Yes. Smart. I'm just starting to see it used more and more. Even on like my honeymoons, like if, now they have like flightographer, they can get you like photographers in different destinations. And if they're, someone's in like Bora Bora on this little island, they show like these drone shots of, it's really cool. I think they're cool.
It is. And there's actually more regulations now. So you have to get a drone pilot's license.
Wow.
You have to take a test. You have to pay a fee. You have to keep up with it. I'm just not willing to do all that. So I have so many people that I hire, and I don't mind supporting other people in their endeavors.
Absolutely.
That's their full-time job, is being drone videographers.
Yes.
So I go ahead and hire them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. That was just a random question.
I thought about it. I'm not saying I did it.
Well, yeah. It led to another example, though, of collaboration. Like, that's working together is always going to get you further in the process, whether it is working with, it's all about working with the right professional, right?
Well, and another thing, the gentleman that I usually hire, he's been doing drone video for about 15 years before they had the drones that they have now. He was using the huge drones, the hard to use drones. He's been doing it for almost 2 decades, right? there is no way I'm going to be at his skill level by the time that I need to use that drone.
Yeah.
He can fly drones in wind that would knock people down. That's how skilled he is. I want to hire him because he'll be able to get the shot in 10 minutes where it might take me 4 hours.
Right. So.
Yeah.
Okay. We're moving on from the drones. One question we like to talk about is, we love to tie everything into visibility. And I think, one of the questions we like to ask people is why visibility matters. And I think we have covered that so well with you. You just shared with us that if you're not visible in the right way, it could be really detrimental to your business. And we are talking to people with very small businesses, solo firms, up to maybe 5 people firms. So I think it's so important. I'm so glad you shared that statistic with us.
Well, I think one of the challenges for businesses that have been around a long time is the changing landscape of what is needed to gain new customers.
Yes.
The landscape has changed completely from magazines, yellow pages, television, newspaper, to video.
Yep.
Video and social media. That's everywhere. That's all there is now. If you're going to get new customers, you have to be present on social media. And so when I talk to businesses that have been around for a long time that are struggling, it's a task to convince them that they actually have to build this up. I had a client, I won't name who it is, but they, in a different part of Texas, and they did not have an online presence at all on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. They were gaining clients with flyers, with billboards, with signs. And she was saying, why am I not getting any new clients or customers? I'm like, well, you don't have a Facebook page. How are people supposed to find you? Your website hasn't been changed in 10 years. You don't have any images on there. So I created photography. I created video for her. So now she has a good web presence. I actually helped her create a Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter account. And I put someone on her staff in charge of maintaining that because they were young, they're in their 20s, and I knew that they could handle it because I'm not in charge of that. They need to be in charge of that. Just from the ground level, changing someone's mindset to this has to be done for your business to survive. There's not an option. You're going to go bankrupt if you don't. Yeah.
I think that is the perfect place to end it, Dayna. But we also want to share with people, Dayna is one of the most creative content I wanted to say creators, but you come up with the subject matter for us designers. You just throw out the most amazing ideas off the top of your head, and I know that you think about them as well. For us, because we hit walls sometimes, especially when you have someone who live streams as much as I do, blogs once a week, podcasts several times a week. It's a lot that I'm like putting out, and sometimes the well gets dry. And sometimes I'll just pop in a little thing like, Dayna, help me out. What should I do? And you're like, oh, I loved this series you did. Do that again, or do that, or talk about this, and you are just so great at that. And we're so lucky to have you in our little secret circle.
I think one time I typed up like 25 ideas for you.
You did. I know. In like 1 second. Yeah. It was amazing.
See, it's easy for me to come up with ideas for other people.
Yeah.
Because I'm outside looking in.
Yes.
It's so much different to come up with those 25 ideas for this one, for this girl here.
Exactly. That's how we feel. So we just want to share that Dayna is available if you need somebody to sort of audit your online presence and your website and give it, a once over. She'll work with you on really anything. Or if you need content to come up with to create a video series, because you can do video series for an opt-in or, add to your website or daily live streams, whatever you want. Dayna is available for one-on-one. And did I cover everything?
Yeah, 1 hour strategy sessions, image consultation, online presence review. You'll get honest, hardcore feedback from me about what I really think. And I will give you as much content creation ideas as I possibly can and not hold anything back.
I love that. Thank you so much, Dayna de Hoyos. Let's keep sending good juju out to our vision boards. We want to see
on my
you
vision board.
In person, we want to hang out with you.
Okay. I'll
Thanks
see you
for coming
guys.
on the podcast.
I'll see you guys in like less than a year.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
See you in less than a year. Yes.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.